Welcome to the year 3500 on the self-driving bus. There it is. Here it comes. Look, see it? There it goes. I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, the first driverless passenger bus. That's right. Just like I showed you the self-driving taxi, now China takes it to the next level and shows us the self-driving autonomous bus. It costs 2 yuan. You can put the coins in there or pay with your phone. Like everything here in China, 2 yuan is just a few cents in dollars, just cents, a very, very low price. The autonomous driverless bus, here we go. And with the app, it tells you which parts it's going through, which building is which. Just like a tourist bus. It tells you on your left you can see, on your right you can see if there's traffic in front of you. It tells you if it's expecting a higher volume of passengers. It keeps telling you, but I don't believe you, it's not possible. Let's see, take it for a spin so we can see. Here it goes, thank you. There's no driver. Let's see, there's a passenger looking at his phone, and this is where the driver should be, but there's no driver. It only has these cameras and sensors, and it lets you know where it stops like any other bus, but without a driver. Just like the autonomous taxi I showed you in the United States, but this one is a passenger bus. And to those who are going to say, oh, you're such a liar, that bus doesn't run. It's just for show. Once it moves, the driver gets on. Oh, you're a liar. Besides being divorced from Chiapas, dumb and stupid, you're a liar. That bus won't run without a driver. Prove it to me. Well, there you go. He'll see. Let's go just to see. This is China. Look, you're going to see futuristic towers like these, electric cars, and buses that drive themselves. There goes the bus. Look, wow. It doesn't break the speed limit. It doesn't get angry. It doesn't get frustrated. It doesn't come tired. It doesn't come drunk. It doesn't get distracted. It's not on the phone. It can run 24 hours a day. You can send it on the highway whether it's raining or foggy because it doesn't see with human eyes. It sees with sensors. And don't think we're on a one-way highway, that it's an easy road, that there are no traffic lights, that there are no other cars. We're in a city in China. Look, this is the city of Guangzhou, which is the 5th most important city in China. Here on the passenger bus, the bus drives itself. Look, even the Chinese themselves are amazed by this thing. The people from China come here, man. Now I don't look so dumb like the ones who come from Chiapas. China is in the year 2250. Look at those towers, the cameras, the sensor that keeps detecting the highway, it's scanning it, and there's the bus without a driver. Look, there's a guy on a motorcycle in front of us. And the system is already trying to predict which lane the guy on the motorcycle is going to take, because he's been changing lanes erratically. And here, the bus doesn't get angry. It doesn't honk. It doesn't curse at him, you see? It respects the space between cars, it stops. He just handles the curves impressively, a smooth turn with caution without slamming the brakes or accelerating too quickly. Like this. Look. Wow. Look. The sensor here indicates if someone will emerge from behind the buses. And how? How does it know there are people coming out from behind these trucks? Well, with the cameras. The parked trucks also have cameras that detect pedestrians and communicate with each other. The truck next to it lets it know, gives it a heads up. A coordination that human beings have simply never been able to do and never will be able to do. This girl is going to get on there. Look. Scan. Go ahead, there are seats. Get on, there are seats. Well, this is my stop. I'm getting off here. It's like the terminal, so to speak. Look, that truck parked in its spot. That person parked badly there. That's inevitable. There's always someone who doesn't know how to park where they're supposed to. So you have to pull over a little further ahead, a little past the designated stop, but that's it. Look, it's gonna put the drivers out of work, right? Why? I mean, yes, there will be fewer driver jobs available, but it's going to create a lot of jobs. Even more, there are the engineers who designed this software, the engineers who designed the sensors and cameras, the engineers who designed the payment system. All this software, the sensors so you can pay, so you can get off, the security cameras, all those are new jobs. There's no need to be afraid of change, guys. Every new technology that has come in has caused that fear that it's going to take away jobs. Yes, there will be fewer drivers, but it creates more jobs. When the telephone was invented, those who trained carrier pigeons said, "We're going to be out of work." When the car was invented, those who trained horses said, "I'm going to be out of work," as did those who built carriages. And look, 100 years later, we don't even remember those jobs existed. Most people don't even know or think about it. Ask a kid, a 12-year-old, what a carrier pigeon is. They have no idea. Or those girls who used to connect phone lines when you picked up the phone. They don't know either. They've never even thought that such a job existed. So in the future, people won't even think that the job of a driver ever existed. And you know what else is going to end? Being charged 2,000 pesos just to get from the airport in Cancun to your hotel in the hotel zone. All those taxi driver scams, that's going to end too. Not just the recklessness, but the abusiveness too. And look, it's not about speaking badly of the drivers. No, not at all. My father was a taxi driver when I was a child. The taxi helped him support me and my siblings. He paid for my siblings' college education and sent me to Canada, all from driving a taxi. Yeah, I'm not speaking badly of the drivers, but for years I saw my father come home tired, sleep deprived. He worked 2 shifts. He only had a few hours a day to sleep. He'd finish one shift and in just a few hours, the next one would start. I grew up watching my father work while sleep deprived, working hard. His replacement would arrive and say, "The taxi's here, time to work again." I felt a lot of guilt, a lot of pain, seeing my father like that, sleep deprived, going to work as a driver. I had to go to his bed to wake him up and say, "Dad, Dad." The taxi had already arrived and he had just fallen asleep, and he would just open his eyes, tired, and go to work driving a taxi. I'm not celebrating that drivers' jobs will end in the future. I'm celebrating an ending. That we have human beings, fathers who go to work driving a truck or a taxi, tired and sleep deprived. It's unsafe for everyone. There will always be roads that are better handled by a human driver, but on most routes, these will be safer. We're gonna make a U-turn. There are cars coming from this side. There it goes. Look, all by itself. All by itself. Now the turn is smooth as butter. Look, how many times has it happened to you that the bus driver just isn't driving carefully and it makes you scared to be there on the bus? That he's listening to loud music, that he's distracted, that he's speeding? How many times have you heard about people getting hurt or injured on a trip in public transportation because the driver was being reckless? Another more colorful model. Look, it's nice. See how it parks next to its companion. Look, all it's missing here is a sign with a funny message like the minibuses in Latin America, but look how nice it is. Look, to get on, you scan here your ticket, press here, scan. Your face has facial recognition. Look at the facial recognition. If you bought your membership, it will let you get on just by scanning your face. The door opens by itself. You are going to press this button, and if you don't have a membership, then you pay your fare. And look, there it is. Look how funny it is. The little bus is just like that cartoon Tayo. I don't know who saw it. Tayo, the little bus. And yes, to get on, they scan your face. Here in China, there's strict control, there's facial recognition everywhere. Before you get on, they're going to scan your whole face and they'll know exactly who you are. Yes, everyone here has your name, address, phone number, and all your information. Yes, it's control, strict control, but what would you rather have, that strict control? The government knowing where you got on and where you got off? Or do you want to have that typical camera, you know how it goes, wallets and cell phones? I'll give you the answer. They'd rather have this than being robbed on public transportation. Because I've seen a lot of viral videos of beatings given to thieves who get on public transportation to rob people. Does that mean people are already fed up? I know that all those people who have lost their lives to gunshots while being robbed on public transportation are fed up. If given a choice, would you rather the government know you took a bus or that a camera is recording you? When you're on the bus, do you prefer that or do you prefer to be safe while you're on the bus? Let's see. That's a silly question. Like Juan Gabriel said, what you see you don't ask about. There! It's already pulling over so someone else can get on. Look, there's the bus stop, but there's no one there. Even so, it stops in case someone is going to get off. Now, if you set it from your phone, at which stop are you going to get off? And the bus doesn't see anyone at the stop. It doesn't stop anymore. To save time, it wouldn't stop. These, since they're new and they're just starting to test them by protocol, they have to stop at every stop. But once it's properly implemented and it doesn't see the need, it won't stop. I know it's rude, but here I am, standing in front of the bus. It stopped, but it's not running late. I checked the schedule. It's early and for educational purposes. I'm standing on the highway for pedestrian safety. It hasn't hit me yet. Still processing what to do. Well, I'll move now. I delayed it at most 10 seconds for educational purposes. And you might say, oh, but to work in these careers, you mentioned, do you need a degree? Do you have to be an engineer? Look, having a college degree is becoming less and less important. Going to college for 4 years, then a 2-year specialization, and then a master's degree, that's happening less and less. These careers are going to become trades as artificial intelligence is able to summarize that knowledge. To help you do it, with a 2-year course, you can learn to operate all this software, to design it, to work on maintaining these systems. They won't be university degrees, they'll be trades like plumber, carpenter, or blacksmith. Yes, you have to take some kind of course, you need to have a certain type of knowledge. It won't be free, it won't be just for anyone who wants it. You have to start studying, you have to learn a new skill, learn the trade. Yes, but personally, I don't think it will only be available to those who have 8 years of university. It will also be available for those of us who learned in the field, like I learned construction. In other words, what I'm trying to say is this: if a person is smart enough to learn how to drive a truck and handle the routes, and collect the fare, and learn to chase after and fight with other minibus drivers for passengers, that's a very tough job, very demanding. If you can do it efficiently, can you learn any of the coding buildings within the transportation system? That's my opinion. Yes, some jobs will disappear, like the driver job here, but new ones will be created. We have to be open to change. It waits for the pedestrians to cross. Look, without honking at them, without saying, hey, hurry up, it just waits patiently. The little robot isn't in a rush. Where is it going? To the robot poker game. All it needs now is to have a can of paint on its head down here so it can feel at home. His girlfriend, one of those I showed you from the robot brothel, that's going to be his girlfriend, and this is going to be an inevitable future. Even if you don't like it, it's coming. There is the Canton Tower, look, a symbol of Chinese success in the city of Guangzhou. That's my stop, the Canton Tower. I'm almost there, it's telling me my stops. Look, normally I'd be scared to get on one of these, or I'd question how safe it is. I'm getting on a driverless bus that's gonna go through a busy area in China. But lately I've seen so many things here in China that make you go, wow. I mean, nothing surprises me anymore. Things that never scared me before would still make me hesitate and ask, are you sure? What's safe here in China? You don't even think about it anymore. The bus stops and oh, there's no driver, it doesn't matter. Well, I do support this technology. Call me Illuminati, call me whatever you want. I support the implementation of this technology. Because accidents aren't just a thing in Latin America, they happen in developed countries too. It's rare, but it does happen, and unfortunately it's common in Latin American countries, Africa, Asia, and worldwide. The recklessness of drivers is something that has affected all of us from every socioeconomic level. Because even if you're rich and have a car, you need public transportation, your domestic workers, and the people you depend on. Yes, and sometimes they're late and their quality of life decreases because of dangerous public transportation service. Here, my respects to China for this technology. I'm honestly impressed. Thank you.